Alright guys, I'm just doing a quick tour of my flight simulator setup for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, and I do a lot of DCS, which is Digital Combat Simulator. For anyone that has never been involved with flight simulation, I would say there are quite a few pieces of equipment required. Obviously, first and foremost being a decent computer. But other than the computer, rudder pedals are a huge necessity. A throttle. And most people are quite familiar with the joystick. I tend to do a lot of my flight simming with headphones, just to whatever. So I have my primary monitor. It's a 1440p monitor. I have a secondary 1080p monitor that I can scroll over and take a look at the world if I need guidance. I've personally got a mic on my setup, and again the rudder pedals are fairly necessary. You're going to find some joysticks have a twist function. I highly do not recommend the twist function. You're going to see the joystick has several buttons, hat keys that you can assign to different functions on the aircraft. Trigger, especially useful if you're going to be doing some combat flight sim type situations. The throttle, back and forth. Again, has a lot of information. I usually use this little doodad to look around the aircraft. This is usually my flaps. There's a lot more information over here, and buttons over here. And again, rudder pedals got actual brakes, and they go left, right. And a lot of people, to avoid having to get rudder pedals, they get a joystick that twists left and right. I do not recommend doing that. The reason being, this is going to go right, but it essentially feels like twisting left. And then this goes left, but it feels like twisting right. So if you actually get used to twisting right to go right, twisting left to go left, but then you switch over to rudder pedals, it's just going to mess you all up. And this is how it's done in a real aircraft, so you should really get used to that. Anyway, I got my mic, my headphones, again my throttle. So I use CH products. To me, everyone says they feel like a tank. I mean, it feels really cheap to me, but the accuracy on this is supposedly a lot better than Logitech. So I like it. It just works. You know, it's gonna last forever, supposedly. So anyway, we're gonna get started. Ready to fly. Okay. So first thing we see Rudder pedals. Rudder pedals. Brakes. Okay. Throttle. That's the throttle in the plane. So the throttle controls that. Joystick. Now you can actually get a rudder, a yoke, which I actually plan to do, but I have a joystick because I do a lot of combat flight simming, and a lot of the planes in this even run a joystick. I would say it's a lot easier to substitute a joystick for a yoke than it is to substitute a yoke for a joystick. So I run a joystick. We're gonna go for a quick flight, and anyway, like I said, this little thumb doodad, I have that so it looks around, just makes things a lot easier. Again, I'm running a 1440p monitor over here. It's pretty immersive. 4K might be a little better, obviously, but 1440p is a lot better than 1080p. This is my 1080p monitor. And like I said, flaps are right there. Actually, I just have that connected right there. Alright, so we are gonna take off. Just using my rudders to guide myself down the center of the runway. Multitasking, so you can see, using my joystick. What I need to do is raise my flaps. And doing this is a lot easier than $200 an hour for flight time. You can do all sorts of things because this is actually the exact same plane I have flown in real life. And everything is the same, so it's pretty cool. And again, if I ever want to go over here, I can. And the joystick just does exactly what I want it to do. And again, I am running this on a PC. It's actually a PC I built. And I'm running a Nvidia GTX 3080, I believe. It's got about 32 gigabytes of RAM. I think I am running an i7, I think like 9700K or something to that effect. It's been a while since I built this. But I get pretty good performance. So I'm kind of curious what everyone else is running for joysticks. I ran Thrustmaster for years, but I recently Switched over to the CH products. I had a lower end Thrustmaster, and the accuracy was just not too great. Had a huge dead zone. It's like if I move it, it's reacting, so just flying helicopters is a lot easier. And I can just adjust all sorts of different sensitivity levels and curves and all that. So, and again, I'm actually running the sound through the speakers on this monitor right now, but I actually usually use my headphones. And that's my flight sim setup for 2025.